Shalom, everyone. As we are approaching Chanukah, I want to share with you an interesting thought. The Gemara in Masechet Shabbos, when it discusses how we fulfill the mitzvah of Chanukah, surprisingly gives us three different ways of doing it. There is basic, there is mahadrin, more beautiful, and then there's mahadrin min ha-mahadrin, the beautiful of the beautiful. The most basic, and I have to admit I've never seen anyone do this, is to simply light one candle every single night. So no matter how large your family, on the first night of Chanukah, you light one candle, and even on the 8th night of Chanukah, you light one candle. That is basic. A person is actually yotzei their mitzvah with that. But then, if you want to do mahadrin, you want to do the mitzvah in a more beautiful way, so then there's a second option in which you light a candle for every member of your family. Now, once again, that's not what we do. That would mean, for example, if I have a family of 6 people, including myself, night 1 I light 6, and night 8 I light 6. Now then, there's a third level. Mahadrin min ha-mahadrin, the most beautiful of the beautiful. And that, of course, is based on the days of Chanukah. And we have a famous argument between Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel, where Beit Shammai says you start with 8 and you go down, 8, 7, 6. Beit Hillel says you start with 1 and you go up. And as is normally the case in an argument between Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel, we follow the halacha like Beit Hillel, and that is virtually the universal minhag of Klal Yisrael. Everybody, even people who are not religious, but they are attracted to the Chanukah ritual, always count according to the days of Chanukah, and they need to understand that not only are they yotzei the mitzvah, but they're doing the mitzvah mahadrin min ha-mahadrin, the most beautiful of beautiful. The obvious question is, why is there such an emphasis on the concept of beauty in connection with the holiday of Chanukah? It is indeed the case that every single mitzvah, there is something called Hidur mitzvah. We try to do a mitzvah in the most beautiful way possible. Okay, that's true. That's true with lulav, tzitzis, tefillin. That's called Hidur mitzvah. But Chanukah is way, way beyond that. We have multiple levels. We have mahadrin, in which you have one candle for every member of your family. Then we have mahadrin min ha-mahadrin, according to the days. And indeed, if you could be yotzei with one candle and you're lighting so many more candles, that is way beyond the halachos of Hidur mitzvah, which normally never entail going beyond a certain percentage. There are a number of answers to this question. In the time we have, I just want to share one brief answer. If you remember, after the flood, when Noach got drunk, and Noach's nakedness was exposed, and his son Ham did shameful things to his father. So the 2 other brothers, Shem and Yefes, they walked backwards with a blanket over their shoulders, and they covered their father's nakedness. And because of this, Noach gave them a bracha. And the particular bracha that was given to Yefes is Yaft Elokim liyefes. God should show beauty to Yefes. V'yishkain, and he will dwell in the tents of Shem. In English that sounds bad, but Shem refers to the son of Noach. Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch offers a beautiful explanation regarding what this bracha is. Humanity has primarily 2 distinct missions. The mission of Shem, from whom the Jewish people come, is to spread godliness and kedusha throughout the world. They bear the mission of bringing HaKadosh Baruch Hu into our lives. There's a secondary mission of creating beauty, aesthetics, philosophy, literature, music, poetry, art. Essentially, what Noach envisioned was a certain division of labor, in which Shem would be given the godly mission of spirituality. And Yefes, who of course was the father of Greek, of Yavan, was given the mission of aesthetics and beauty and culture. And what Noach is saying is aesthetics, beauty, and culture are legitimate and proper and appropriate, but only when they are subordinate to the tents of Shem. Meaning to say, when the koach of Yavan, Yefes, dwells in the tent of Shem and acknowledges that all of its beauty must be harnessed towards the enhancement of God's greatness and God's name, then that beauty becomes legitimate and has a place. God has given beauty to Yefes, which is Yavan, when it dwells in the tense of monotheistic service of God. When it remains separate from that, it then becomes oppressive, destructive, and egotistical. The story of Chanukah is precisely the confrontation between the mission of Shem, godliness, as reflected in the lives of the Maccabees and the Jewish people, versus Yavan, which indeed had in the ancient world the highest level of culture, aesthetics, art, poetry, music, philosophy, science. And Antiochus and the Yavanim of the time totally disassociated their culture and their aesthetics from any submission to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It then became destructive, divisive. It became evil, because the beauty of Yavan is only when it dwells in the tents of Shem. So if Chanukah celebrates victory over Yavan, victory over Yavan does not mean taking the beauty of Yavan and smashing it like the Taliban smashed all of the artifacts from the Middle Ages. Conquering Yavan means taking the positivities of Yavan, the beauty, and harnessing them to Avodas Hashem. And thus, it is precisely the holiday of Chanukah, which is a commemoration of the victory of light over darkness, of holiness over tumah, in which we don't disparage beauty. We embrace it, we celebrate it, we appropriate it for Avodas Hashem. And that is why precisely the holiday of Chanukah, there is such an emphasis on what might be regarded as the externalities of Hiddur. Take the beauty, use it, benefit from it, enjoy it, and then elevate it into the service of God. Chanukah Somayach, may we be zocheh to take these lessons to heart.